Let's understand what is synergy and how to ascertain the cost of merger in this session. Why companies would go for merger? The companies would basically go for merger only when there is a value addition. Let's say there are two companies A and B. If these two companies are going to merge together, then this merger should increase the value of the owners of the business, right? Let's say the company A is going to acquire company B and you will have a merged entity called AB. So the value of the merged entity AB should be greater than the mere aggregate of value of A and B. If value of AB is going to be simply A plus B, or the value of A and value of B, then absolutely there is no point in going for merger. Those two entities could have remained independent itself. To put it more precisely, let me give the value. Let's say the value of company A is 10 million and value of company B is $10 million. Okay. And if these two entities are merging, and if the merged entity is going to have the value as $20 million, then there is absolutely no need for this merger. These two companies could have remained independent itself. The merger will make sense when the combined entity's value is greater than $20 million. Let's say the combined entity's value is $25 million. Okay. Then the merger would make sense. And how this $25 million is derived? It is derived by aggregating the value of company A, which is $10 million, then value of company B, which is another $10 million, plus a $5 million. And what is this $5 million? This $5 million is nothing but synergy which they get on account of merger. So what is synergy? What is synergy? Synergy is nothing but the economic benefit which the combined entity is going to get on account of merger. So how synergy will arise? Synergy can arise on account of, let's say, improved management. I mean, when two entities come together and the managerial excellence is going to improve, then you will have a synergy. The decision making is going to be far better. It is going to be more productive. Okay. You can have more synergy by having more production capacity. You can have more synergy by more marketing. Let's say of these two companies, company B has strong marketing or strong presence, though they don't have that much of production capacity. So now they are going to make effective use of that. And there can be various cost savings that can arise. So what you have to understand is in merger, you can get various kinds of benefit like improved management, production, marketing efficiency, which will lead to cost saving, operating economies, and so on. So if I put this as an equation, the value of merged entity, let's say value of merged entity AB is nothing but value of single entity A plus value of single entity B plus what is known as synergy. So this knowledge, this understanding is very much important. So synergy is something which you get as extra benefit. So many of the mergers would take place because they see a strong synergy. In this case, the value of these two entities are 10 million, but when they merge, they are going to get an additional value of $5 million. So that is the synergy, and that would be the driving force in this merger. So Synergy is a benefit which you are expecting to arise on account of merger, but sometimes it may happen that you don't get this benefit. Okay, so synergy is a benefit and it should happen, and if it is not happening, then there is something wrong in the calculation. But when you are expecting a benefit will not come free, it will come with a cost. What is the cost of synergy, or what is the cost of merger? That's more important. What is the cost of merger? How do you arrive at the cost of merger? It's very simple. Let's say there are two companies A and B. These two companies are getting merged and you will have a merged entity called AB. So when this B is getting merged with A, let's say A is going to issue shares to the shareholders of B. So they are going to issue shares. In that way, they will settle B. Or A will pay cash to the shareholders of B, and eventually they will acquire all the assets, or the B entity is going to get merged with A. So this company called A is going to get merged, or say B is getting merged with A, and for that A is going to pay the consideration either by issuing its shares to the shareholders of B or by making cash payment. So this process, okay, this process would result in either cost or it would result in gain. How it would result in cost? It would result in cost if the shares issued or if the cash paid to the shareholders of B is greater than the market value of shares of B. Okay, so if A Limited is going to issue shares and value of that share is greater than the market value of share of B, or if A Limited is going to pay cash and if that cash is greater than the market value of share of B, then there is a cost. If they are going to pay less, then there is a gain, right? So this is one important point which have to be understood. So how do you arrive at this cost? See, when consideration is paid in cash, approach is different. When consideration is paid through shares, approach is different. That is, you are going to have different approaches depending upon the way in which you are going to pay. If consideration is cash, okay, if consideration is cash, what you have to do is find out what is the cash paid, compare the cash paid with market price per share. So what is the cash paid per share? What is the market price per share? If cash paid per share is greater than market price per share, there is a cost. And let's say the company is going to issue shares. Here comes the issue. When shares are issued to the acquired company, what happens is you can find the cost by looking at the cost of shares of merged entity. By looking at the cost of shares of merged entity, don't worry if it sounds little technical. You will understand this by looking at the case study in the next session.